Hello. No characters are black boxes this time. Cool, great. Anyway, we're gonna continue Grown Up. I've tried this multiple times. It crashed when I was playing it. I was further along. We were at the diner, or we were talking to Cove's dad. I need to do this for VODs. So, tennis. You remembered Mommy had a couple of old tennis rackets lying somewhere, but you forgot where you'd last seen them. Deciding to be a tennis player as playing grown-ups. You could check the attic for them, although Lizzie probably wouldn't let you run off and do that now that she had you here. Hold on. Need to close something real quick. There you go. Yes, that was clearly the top option. Okay, I'm gonna be a tennis player.
Alright!
How about you, Cove? I'll be a tennis player with Snow. Lizzie threw her hands in the air, making an annoyed sound. Yeah, it can't be the same thing. That's not how it works. You didn't say that. The rule was picking from the list. You can't keep adding more. Lizzie looked at the two of you, then shook her head, resigning to lose this battle but not the war. Fine, but you're both tennis players, but you're on the same team because there's only one. Lizzie's ponytail bobbed when she proudly stretched her arms wide. The Olympic team. What? We're Olympic athletes who just competed in the Olympics. Sorry. Cove didn't seem all that impressed with the announcement. He made a face and adjusted the glasses on his nose. That seems really specific.
Rude.
That's what makes it fun, anyway. Lizzie marched back and forth in front of the both of you, getting lost in her own imagination. I won all the gold medals and people are calling me the next Mickey Wright. Who's that? Lizzie stopped on the spot and turned on him, her brown eyes shining with patience. It doesn't matter if you know who she is. It's a goth thing. You guys won medals too. Your team plays silver, and it's more real if we're not all first place. Silver sucks. You fold your arms across your chest, staring Lizzie down. Me neither. You nodded at Cove, happy that he had your back.
Sorry.
Lots of people lose at the Olympics. Them's the bricks. You're the one who did, not me. Ooh. Lizzie looked back, taken aback by Cove's declaration, as though the thought of her losing was completely absurd. No way. It wouldn't make sense. I'm already practicing my golf game. She took a stopping. I mixed these two words together. Golfing stance to make her point, pretending to swing her club to hit an invisible ball. So what kind of house do you want to live in? Govan had changed his mind about winning, but thinking about where he'd live as an adult appealed to him, apparently. Because he looked back at Lizzie with some anger fading. I'm going to live on the beach. Lizzie made a face at him, poking out her tongue. It's kind of boring. We already have that. No, I like the normal houses here on the street. On it. Right on the sand by the water. Just like that, all the tension was back. And I even had the chance to choose where you'd want to live. It's not very fun or smart, Cove. You can't live on a bunch of sand and shells. I want to, and I will. Cove narrowed his eyes at Lizzie, even though she stood half a head taller than him. I didn't give out a list of things to pick from this time, so I'm picking that. Or you playing pretend if you can't imagine anything. Jeez, I'm gonna live on a mansion far away from here and far away from you. One with an indoor pool and a place to practice my award-winning golfing.
It's not fair.
How come you were yelling about mine when your idea is even more impossible? Lizzie's face flushed red, her hands balling into fists at her sides. It's not impossible, and it's better than yours. Disagreements always seemed to crop up when the two of them were together, and you always felt like you were stuck in the middle. But when it came to the topic at hand this time, you thought, beach was cooler. Screw you. Who wouldn't want to live on a beach? It'd be really great. You could have windows made from driftwood and seashell wind chimes. Somehow you agreeing with Cove made him look nervous. He tried to ignore it by continuing his debate with Lizzie. You can swim wherever you want if you live on the beach. We can swim anytime we want from where we live now. Being a little closer doesn't mean anything. Says you. The two of them scowl at each other. You're being so unreasonable, you. I don't get what you want. This game doesn't make any sense.
Ugh.
It does. You have to be realistic. I said that. But you're not. You had no idea what to do to make them stop at this point. It seemed like the two of them would just keep working each other up as long as they could. Nothing you said so far could keep them from being mad. They feel like a greeting card angel. Mom walked into the room. Lizzie rushed to her, hanging at the hem of her shirt and poking out her tongue at Cove. Lizzie, Snow, it's time to get ready.
You alright with that?
Sorry you have to leave already, Cove. Their mommy said she'll walk you home so you won't be left in the cold. Cove was glaring at Lizzie, his face flushed red with anger. I can go by myself. But
Bye.
Snow. Bye, Snow. There was still a harsh edge to the brief farewell. But you knew it wasn't you he was mad at. It was Lizzie, the bossy girl. Thinks she's better than everyone. Without giving Mom a chance to stop him, Cove stood up and stalked out of the room, shoulders drawn tight.
Huh?
Okay. Worried Mom turned to look down at you and Lizzie. You two were playing nice with our new friend, weren't you? Lizzie, fuck you. I'm gonna tell the truth. We were playing pretend and things got intense. They were like cats and dogs. Your sister's jaw dropped, looking betrayed. It's not my fault. You're being mean. As Mom put both her hands on her hips. Elizabeth! I told you to be kind with him. He's having a hard time right now. Lizzie's mouth closed back up, replaced by a tiny frown. I know I tried, but he was...
That's
No
enough.
buts. No buts. We both know you can show somebody a great time when you put your mind to it. We're gonna apologize to Cove and his dad over the phone when he gets home from work tonight. Lizzie hung her head, dragging a foot across the ground in front of her. Okay, Mom. Good girl. You caught pieces of Lizzie sulking to herself about how it was his fault too, but it was over. It wasn't his fault. It was yours. Being mean. Being weird and unfair. Right. Better get a move on.
Let's go.
Let's go, kids. Neilani, where did you leave the car keys? Very nostalgic car. Very nostalgic. Love this guy. It reminds me of like a lot of these I don't remember. Oh God. Self-voicing disabled.
Self-voicing disabled.
I know. but I remember, I do remember this car, but a lot of other stuff I don't remember. I don't remember a lot of other like backgrounds and stuff. So it's cool to see it. Like, I don't remember the golf course. Mom hustled you all out of the door, and you noticed during the car ride to golf practice that Lizzie was quieter than usual. She was usually the first one to request which music to listen to in the car, but she didn't say anything. Your parents noticed she wasn't in the mood to be bothered. They gave her space, and Mommy just asked you what you'd like to listen to. Sorry about that. Sorry, there's a cat over there. He looked very comfortable. Very comfortable. Alright. You picked your favorite song. It always made the car ride more fun. You chose the soundtrack to a cool movie you saw a couple months ago. You chose a song you knew Lizzie liked. Maybe that would cheer her up. She was being a dick to Cove. This thing I didn't choose before when I first played the game. So I did this and I looked at skip, and I never chose this before. But when I was playing this and streaming it, before it crashed, the stream crashed. Yeah. So we'll do this. We'll do it. You were happy to see it brightened up her right away, and she started singing along with you. Soon enough, her bad mood was a thing of the past. When the car ride was over, you spent the twilight hour watching Lizzie hit things with other girls her age. You didn't know much about golf, but you could tell that she really liked it. So you sat with your moms and tried to puzzle it out. It was nice sitting outside after being cooped up in the house all day, and you stretched out your legs to let the last few minutes of sun warm your skin. When the sun was finally out of sight, dipping behind the horizon, you all got ready to leave. Instead of going straight home, your moms took the family out to dinner. You went to the restaurant you had all been going to ever since you could remember. The whole afternoon had been a bunch of shouting you hadn't been able to stop, but you could tell that this all helped Lizzie be less angry. The car ride home was quiet, with only the radio providing escape from the silence. Lizzie had been in better spirits now, but the closer you got to your neighborhood, the more she wiggled in her seat and frowned at the window. She knew what was coming when you all got back home. Clearly, she was dreading it. Soon enough, Mom was turning onto your street, then reversing into the driveway. Once she cut the ignition, it was dead silent. No one spoke, only unbuckled their seatbelts and opened their doors. Lizzie was the last one out. Once everyone was inside and done taking off their shoes, she propped her hands on her hips.
So?
Now then, Mr. Holden's car is in the driveway, so he should be back from work. That's good news, isn't it, Elizabeth? You and Cove can hash things out before the day's over. Lizzie didn't complain or put up a fight. Her head ducked so she didn't have to meet anyone's eyes. She nodded once. Good. Let's move this to the kitchen. Mom went over to the house phone, the rest of you following behind her. Mommy put a gentle hand on Lizzie's shoulder as they walked side by side. You watched them from the back. This was only happening because you told on Lizzie. I didn't regret a fucking thing. She deserves it. You're being mean. Anyway, you frowned to yourself, recalling how Cove had left in such a bad way. You wish that you could have done more for him. Hopefully he would feel better by tomorrow. You wanted to hang out with him again. The four of you stood around the kitchen in a lopsided square. All eyes were on Lizzie, who kept her gaze on her feet. You remember the number for Cove's house, don't you, honey? Lizzie jerked her head in another nod, sullen. Without further prompting, she stepped forward and began to dial. Mom reached over and pressed a button on the base. Suddenly, you could hear the phone ringing. She turned on the speaker. The phone rang a couple of times, then stopped. Mr. Holland's warm voice came through the other end. Evening, Holden residence. Lizzie looked over at Mommy, unsure. She nodded encouragingly. Hi, Mr. Holden. It's, Lizzie. Can I talk to Cove?
Absolutely.
Lizzie Parker. What a surprise. But, of course, you can say hey to the boy. He sounded cheery as usual. Though, definitely meant it when he said it was a surprise. You thought hard. You were sure that your sister had never called Cove's house before. Mom spoke before Mr. Holland or Lizzie could say anything more. Her arms were crossed over her chest, her lips pursed. Hi, Cliff. Nyoloni. Snow and I are here too. Yeah, he's like, what's going on? Good evening. We're sorry to bother you so late. Hello. Ooh, hello. Hi, Mr. Holden. He's like, the gang's all here, huh? Is something the matter? He's like, oh god, so many people are here. His voice grew a bit concerned. Mommy was quick to reassure him. This is where the stream crashed. No, well, yes, but it's gonna be okay. Lizzie and Cove got into a bit of a fight today. We're hoping that the two of them could talk and make it up. Is that good time for you and Cove?
What?
A fight? Cove didn't tell anything about that when I came home. It does explain the funk he's been in tonight. He chuckled lightly. Despite that, he didn't seem like he really thought it was funny. Anyway, it's good. You didn't catch us at a bad time. I'll go grab him for you. There was some shuffling on the other hand. He must not have gone far, but you could still hear him calling out, "Go! There's someone on the phone for you!" After a beat of silence, there's more muffled talking from Cove's dad. Come on, bud, Lizzie just called so she could talk to you. Snow's on the other end listening to, don't you want to say hi? It took a bit of back and forth, though the conversation seemed one-sided, since you couldn't hear Cove properly. Eventually, Cove took the phone from his dad.
Hi.
Hello? Hi, it's Lizzie. Yeah, I know. Dad told me. His tone makes sense, you know? You being a dick to him, and he's gonna be a dick to you. Cove's tone was defensive. Lizzie turned to Mom, scowling. One stern look from her, though, and Lizzie turned away.
Sorry.
I just want to say I'm sorry for not playing nice with you today. I won't do it again. Lizzie's eyes were downcast, her voice low. You could tell she felt uncomfortable apologizing to Cove in front of everyone. Well, it's consequence. She was still being genuine about feeling bad. Cove must have realized that too, because he sighed quietly. Me and Cove should get cold too. That's right. Lizzie kept denying you two what you deserved. Lizzie was momentarily stunned by the demand. She probably forgot that even happened already. Well, alright. We all win the gold. Okay, I guess I'm sorry too. You don't need to apologize. I don't know why he's apologizing. sense of relief washed over everyone at his acceptance to the apology. Mom uncrossed her arms, while Mommy's shoulders relaxed. Lizzie's eyebrows raised up. She wondered if she thought he'd refused her refuse her apology. Dad, can I get off the phone now? You couldn't see him, but it was obvious Cove felt awkward about the situation. He had come off uncomfortable the entire time, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go back to your room if you want. Sure to say goodbye first, though. Bye, Lizzie. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Snow. He's happy about that. He perked up at the mention of your name. He smiled even if he couldn't see it. Bye, Cove. With that said, Cove must have handed the phone to his dad and left. Since Mr. Holden spoke up.
That's a relief.
Oh, well, all's well that ends well, as they say. Thanks for arranging this. I'm sure he appreciates it. As Mom replied, Lizzie tugged on Mommy's hand to catch her attention. Can I go now, too?
Good job.
Sure, sweetie. Thank you for apologizing to Cove. Mom flashed a brief smile at Lizzie and nodded her agreement. Given permission to leave, Lizzie scurried off towards the stairs. She seemed to be feeling much better with the incident behind her. Mom and Mommy returned the phone, taking it off speaker. They continued talking to Mr. Holden. You couldn't tell what about. You glad that was the end of it. Lizzie and Cove might not get along, but probably still won't. But they weren't mad at each other. Mom and Mommy weren't upset either. Everything finally went back to normal. With that thought, you retreated to your own room with a spring in your step. We save. Overwrite. Let us play Long Day. Thing looks good for the stream, which is good. It was another scorching summer day. The kind where no sooner had. Oh wait, I need to mark this timestamp. It's a timestamp thing. This was grown up. This is 22. Okay. What is this called? Long Day. Sorry, I'm marking this for stream VOD timestamps. It was another scorching summer day. The kind where no sooner had you finished one cup of water, you were already filling it up again. Everyone else had something on, so that afternoon it was just you and Silo. This didn't happen much, especially since Cove had arrived. Without Lizzie around, Silo looked to you for all the answer. It made you feel weird. Frustrated? Not frustrated, just weird. I'm not pleased nor frustrated. Weird. Nothing really, I'll just say that. Stella went along with whatever you said, so he wasn't a bother, but he also wasn't that much fun. You drained yet another drink and frowned at the empty vessel. Your thirst was gone, but you still craved something icy cold and refreshing. Something sweet, something like popsicle. Oh, sorry. I'm moaning every time I talk about food. That's what I'm doing in this, these Our Life streams is you just hear the food and like, and it's just Our Life Begins and Always that it happens, but just hearing the food, you're like, that seems good. An ice cream sandwich. Ooh, yes. You crave soft ice cream sandwiched between two cookies. There was nothing like that to be found at home. You knew that without needing to look, your moms didn't keep sweets in the house. Outside, there were plenty of places that had such goodies that could be obtained. But there were shops and demanded payment in exchange for their products. As much as you really want that treat, but what's gonna happen? Which walk? No, I wanted an ice cream sandwich. Stella, who had draped over the sofa, perked up.
Yeah.
That sounds good. We don't have any here, and I don't have any money. Let me check if I have any. Like, I am sharing it with you. If we're getting it, we're sharing. Unless we buy 2 sandwiches. I think we could share, right? We shared the cookie sandwich. And Silla's like, what? Why would you? Silla rummaged in his backpack and proudly produced an assortment of coins, plus 1 stray button. You set the button aside and counted the coins in neat piles. Just over $1. You announced this to Silla, he had almost certainly, oh my god, I'm sorry. He had almost certainly come to the same conclusion, but he'd watching you expectantly. It's a start. To beam him up, because this kind of makes him sad.
Sorry.
Oh. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. We're fine. You're fine. Silo beamed at you. We'll need to find some more. Okay. The two of you lifted couch cushions, stuck tiny hands down deep crevices in the sofa, lot of dust, and under furniture scorched the back of drawers. Most of what you found was useless or gross. Bent paper clips, fluffy wisps of dust and sandy crumbs, but every so often you would strike silver or bronze and add it to the growing pile of coins. Dusty and disheveled from checking every room and squinting into every tiny nook, the two of you finished pulling in your finds. Silo held his breath as you counted the coins once again. $22.53 and 2 buttons. 2 buttons. Sake. Hopefully that'll give us like something, you know. Hopefully that'll give us something. Maybe the 2 coins are like dollar, you know. Hopefully. You didn't know where the second button had decided to join the party, but you were too pleased with your successful haul to throw it out. Is that enough? Oh, you figured he knew the answer without looking at you for confirmation, but the thrill of your success and the reward that would follow canceled out any other feelings you might have had about that. Yeah. Now you could afford something at the shops, just one thing, but that was definitely better than none. Silo clapped his hands. Yay! The two of you dashed outside, the promise of sugar buoyed you on to your destination where, breathless but happy, you stared at the overwhelming number of options. You knew what you wanted, but it wasn't just you who had to contribute to get the funds to the treat. You noticed your pause. Are you going to get the ice cream sandwich? Stella asked, as though he was entirely separate from the decision rather than someone with a stake in the outcome. Do you mind? Selo cocked his head to one side. It was your idea, you should choose. Get something you both wanted anyway. It wasn't fair for you to be the only one to decide when he'd be the main factor in making this happen. Some of the money came directly from his backpack. It's your money, and you helped in finding the money. So what do you like? I love them. They're so good. Press further. But what do you really like? Popsicles or ice cream? Which is your favorite? It's all hard to pick. I don't know. But sure, you cut to the heart of the matter. You want me to choose? Yeah. Okay. And that was that. You got the dessert you originally wanted and hoped Scylla would like it too. Finally, the reward for all your hard work was in your hands. You bit the ice cream sandwich. The chewy chocolate biscuit complemented the creamy vanilla ice cream inside. You held it out to Scylla so he could take a turn. He shook his head.
You can finish it.
No, I'm not. He didn't want anything? After everything he did to help get it, it was weird. I tried to include. Even if Scylla said it was okay, every story you'd seen on TV or read in the books that said that sharing was caring. You stood your ground, even as the tree started to trickle dangerously towards your fingers. It's only fair if you have some. We both bought it. But you really want it more than I do, and getting to play was a lot of fun already. So you can have it, that's more fair. You held it out to him. I want you to have even some more than I want to finish it. So your part. Relenting, Scylla took the treat and gave it a taste. His eyes lit up.
Thank you.
It's really good, thank you. Good. He smiled, pleased with your good deed. Because it's your money. He picked up S1. Did he mean that? Scylla was always so nice no matter what. Even if you hate it. You know who wouldn't say so. Maybe he thought it was gross and the real reason why he didn't want to take it. Yeah, no idea. Who knows? You studied him as he ate a little more. He had every appearance of enjoying himself. Still weird. The two of you began to head back home as he ate. You walked side by side on the shore in silence, but your thoughts kept drifting to the boys beside you. Why didn't he speak up for himself? It was almost as if Scylla didn't know how to say what he felt or was too afraid to. We friends? I don't know, are you scared of me? Let's see that. Are we friends? Let's actually, did I do this one? No way. But you don't tell me things like what you want to do or what treat you should get. It's not cause I'm scared, it's cause you have better ideas than I do. Is it because I'm older than you that you think that? Unfortunately, this was yet another thing that you couldn't entirely believe Scylla on. You hoped it was true and that he really did feel okay being around you though. Scylla made you unsure about setting a label on experiences. Should I do friend? Are we friends? Maybe that does something. I think so. He says that, but friends should be able to talk to each other without being scared. If Scylla wouldn't do that, were you even really friends at all? He rubbed his hands together nervously over your non-reaction.
Sorry.
You weren't sure how sorry he could be without knowing what he was apologizing for. You shook your head. He didn't do anything. It was true. Scylla hadn't done something mean. He gone out of his way to make you happy. And I don't know. I feel horrible about the reaction he's giving. You scared of me? Okay. Scylla made you unsure about setting a label on the experience of spending the afternoon with just him. There had been good times and there had been some confusing ones. Honestly, I love these kinds of clouds over like the distant ocean. I just love that kind of look. You were positive of one thing, at least. The treat was delicious, and that was nice. The sun was low on the horizon. As you returned to your neighborhood, there you spied two familiar figures up ahead, Lizzie and Cove. You opened your mouth to make your presence known to them, just as you saw the tears of Cove's face. What? Walk straight over, silhouette your heels. Once there, you carefully ask about what happened. Yeah, I'm not gonna just immediately blame Lizzie, even though that's something she would make him feel bad about something. Without a time machine, the only way you were able to find this out was by asking the witness. Lizzie might have done something, but she could have been in the wrong place at the wrong time, or even came to Cove's aid. You wanted to hear the story. Cove, what happened? You know, I got yelled at. Take a deep, steadying breath. Tell my grandparents got mad at me.
Aw.
Oh, sorry. Lizzie jerked her head in the direction of the nearby house. Your heart sunk. You knew exactly what had happened. Every year, the same man. Old couple rented out that condo for the summer. You, Lizzie, and Silo knew to stay away from them, but Cove couldn't have. They're like that with everyone. Even your mom struggled to find anything nice to say about them. But that elderly pair practically took offense to kids. It didn't matter if they were really nice to Cove. Yeah, Lizzie said. Lizzie drew herself up at that. She looked pointedly in your direction. I was helping her. That's cool. Is there anything I can do? No, I'm just gonna stay away. Or you can teach them a lesson. I know what this is. There was a devilish glint in her eyes. What? We could ding dong dish them. Go ring the doorbell and run. It'll be great because they're slow. They'll never catch you. That's dumb. I don't even want to go near them again.
You're just saying that because you're a chicken.
Cove glared, but didn't take the bait. Lizzie turned to you. You're not a chicken, are you? Ooh. Fuck. Did I ever do this? Yeah, I did. Thought they deserved worse. I did. I'll do it. Huh. Is this me being a dick to Cove? Did I don't know. You thought they deserved worse. You scrunched your nose up in disgust as you shook your head. As pranks go, it was pretty weak. They would answer the door to find nothing there, so what? It would be sort of annoying, but they seemed like the kind of people who would be irritated by about anything. If they were going to open the door, there should be something bad there. That would let them get off too easy. Ooh. You felt 3 pairs of eyes staring at you, but you were studying your surroundings thoughtfully. There wasn't much around that they might dislike. Sparshane came crawling towards you in the form of a roly-poly bug. Carefully, you lowered your hands and let it clamber into your palm. That should do it. You never met an adult who appreciated bugs less ding-dong ditched and fuck.
Yeah.
We should go hide. Run as soon as you hit the bell. Good luck. Lizzie and Silo ran across the road to take shelter in the bushes. Even once they settled down, you could make out 2 child-sized shapes staring from behind the leaves. Sorry. Self-voicing disabled? Wow. Alright.
Self-voicing
Oh,
disabled.
you fucking bitch. Oh, I hate you. If you don't know, if you haven't watched my streams, I have beef with the self-voicing disabled voice. Because it always does shit like that. It's always delayed. I always just accidentally click V because I use space to go to the next text sometimes. So you know where to look for them, though. So you told yourself that the grouchy old people wouldn't spot it. Cove sighed, his gaze flicking to the house and then back at you. Don't let them catch you, okay? Be careful. I'll be quick as a flash. Cove glanced back before he'd even reached the other side and stumbled as his foot caught on the sidewalk. He straightened up and looked back to smile nervously at you before joining Lizzie and Silo in their hideaway. The weight of the 3 pairs of eyes on your back was heavier than anything you'd carry before as you approached the door. You stared down at the little bug still wriggling in your closed hand and carefully placed it on the ground where it could have been seen, off to the side where it wouldn't be stepped on. Ring it. You slapped the buzzer and ran. Blood thumped against your eardrums with every step. Would you make it in time? Approaching the hiding spot, you knew that there wasn't time to go around the bushes as the others have done. They took a shortcut, leaping over them. To be more accurate, crashing into the tops of the bushes, then falling to the other side. Cove quietly hissed as you unwittingly collided into him. But by the way his arms were out, it seemed he had intentionally tried to cushion your landing. Shh. Lizzie put a finger to her lips and nodded at the house. Disentangled your limbs from Cove's and spun around to see the old man framed in the doorway, picking back and forth suspiciously. You covered your mouth with your hands, but it was enough to stifle your giggles. He spotted one of you and, or maybe it was the leaves you displaced while jumping, but he locked eyes with the bush and stormed over in your direction. Silo gasped and looked to Lizzie. Run! Your sister did not hesitate to take her own advice. Neither did Silo. We got up, seeing Cove struggling to extract himself and stand up with just one functional arm. You gave him a hand, getting up to his feet. It wasn't your intention to run, still holding on to each other, but neither of you remembered to let go. Made your escape, you thought to yourself that he didn't notice the bug. The old man's hollers propelled you all from the street to the sanctity of the hill. Only once you were safe did you notice the stitch in your chest and the ache of your legs. You flopped down, the blades of grass tickling your face. Lizzie, who had taken the lead in the end, was already lazing on the ground. The 4 of you took a moment to catch your breath and enjoyed the feeling of cool grass against your skin.
Cove.
Hey, Cove. Cove lifted his head. I told you there were mean grandparents around here. Cove rolled his eyes, then decided it wasn't dismissive enough and rolled his whole body away from your sister. Lizzie chose to ignore his response and started chatting to Silo, who eagerly joined in the conversation. In the back of your mind, you knew you'd be second fiddled again to Silo once Lizzie came around. It always went like that. It was fine. Oh, shoot. Didn't mean to do that. Silo could prefer Lizzie as much as he wanted to, and there were other things to attend to anyway. He wiggled closer to Cove. He had calmed down for the most part and was expecting a flower. His fingers pinched the stem and tilted the white petals towards him. God damn it. Self-voicing disabled?
Self-voicing disabled.
Thank you. That's a poppy. Cove glanced at you in acknowledgement, then back to the flower. And the type of poppies on this hill have the name White Lining Poppy, my mom told me. He quirked a smile. That's funny. He ran a finger around the edge of the petals. It doesn't feel like cloth. You'd need a lot of them to make anything. He nodded and released the delicate plant. Evaluation complete. is my favorite kind of flower, but I didn't know what it was called. Thanks. Ooh, I don't know. Ooh, wait, what is hibiscus? Do I remember? I don't even know what my favorite is. Hibiscus, I know what hibiscus looks like. So I think that, I guess. They're from Hawaii, just like my mommy. And they're pretty like her too. Yeah, and you're pretty like both of them. Oh my god! He's 8. And it's already trying to riz me up. Alright. I'm never saying riz again. Ever again. I'm so sorry. I am Unk, and I'm trying to be hip with the kids, as they say. I'm Unk, okay? Whatever, what the kids say, I'm Unk, uncle. Unk is short for uncle. Whatever. Hey, kids, I have the riz, what other... Don't you guys love the AI slop Tung Tung Sahur? Do you really love that? I love it too. You know, that weird log guy with bat. Isn't that technically like basically using a dead body? The bat is basically wood, Basu. Tung 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 Sahur is a log, so doesn't that mean he's like carrying a body of his own brethren as a weapon? Also, I feel so dirty for saying rizzing me up. I fucking hate myself. I want to die. I want to die for saying that. Oh god, I hate myself. That is on the internet forever. That is on the internet forever. And there is nothing I can do. There is nothing I can do. I hate using modern slang. I hate it. Anyway. He's just flirting with us. That's what it is. Flirting. He's flirting with us.